Thank you. I'd like to call the village board meeting to order on May 8th. I'd like to ask Mr. Tom Bauer, the interim minister for St. Paul's United Church of Christ, to come up and do our invocation. Thank you, Pastor.
Let us pray. Holy One, as we gather tonight, we seek your presence to guide us with compassion. We ask for this year's trustees to increase in wisdom. From that wisdom, may they hear deeply, have patience with themselves, one another, and the processes they oversee. May their discussions, decisions, and even their disagreements demonstrate care for this community. May the discourse be reasonable. May diversity be appreciated. May this board do what it is most healthy for the entire community. As we proceed through tonight's agenda, may the productive work strengthen our relationships and the spiritual prosperity of Monee. May gracious peace expand this night and into the future. Amen.
Thank you very much. Could you all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance? Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Trustee Blue? Trustee Gray? Trustee Gonzalez? Here. Trustee Horn?
Here.
Trustee Razik?
Present.
Trustee Udris?
Here.
Okay, we'll move on to open to the public. Agenda items only. If you have something that's on the agenda you'd like to discuss, please step forward. Oh, gee, someone wants to talk. Another minister. Oh, my God.
Good evening. Good evening, everyone.
This, by the way, is Reverend Hunt.
Yes. Yes, I'm Pastor James Hunt, pastor of New Hope Christian Community Church.
Yes, you are.
And on behalf of New Hope Christian Community Church, which is a member of this community and all the residents of Monee, the village of Monee, I want to congratulate the new trustees, particularly one of our members, Michael Wilson, who is a deacon and Sunday school teacher at New Hope. And we wish them well, and we pray that everything they do will be a benefit to this community. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Hunt. Anyone else for open to the public? No more ministers? Nobody? I'm glad you laughed at that, okay? People get to know me a little bit. I really do have a serious side. Trust me. Okay, we'll move on to the consent agenda. Could I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make that motion. I'll second.
A motion and a second. Any discussion on the consent agenda? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the clerk's report.
Thank you, Mayor Pop. Just a couple things. One, just wanted to let everyone know this week is the 50th anniversary of the Municipal Clerks Appreciation Week that was established initially by the International Institute of Municipal Clerks back in 1969. It's also supported by the U.S., Canada, and 15 other countries. So happy Municipal Clerks Week to all the clerks, including our Deputy Powell. And also, myself and Deputy Clerk Powell had the pleasure to attend our Will and Grundy Clerks Association meeting today. That was held in Plainfield. And with that, we had a speaker, Vanita Voss from the Census Bureau. So she, of course, came. It was very informative, letting us know the part that the role that the clerks play in the 2020 census that'll be coming up. So we'll have more information coming up that a little later on. But if anyone is interested in jobs for the 2020 census, they are actually doing hiring right now, both for short-term and long-term employment. And you can apply going by 2020census.gov/jobs. And they provide great pay, flexible hours, weekly pay, and paid training. There's also a phone number if interested, and that's 855-JOB-2020. For longer term jobs, you can go on usajobs.gov. And last but not least, our very own Deputy Clerk Powell is now the president of the Will Grundy Clerks Association. And so she and I will be working side by side with that. End of report.
That was Michelle. Larry wanted you to give a speech, Michelle. Larry wanted you to give a speech on that. She loves to talk in front of people. Oh, my God. Okay, we'll move on. I'm sorry. We'll move on to the mayor's report, and I have nothing on my report. Thank you. We'll move to the administrator's report. David?
Thank you, Mayor, Board of Trustees. This evening, item H1 on your agenda is a TIF payout request for JPEL Incorporated. Under the terms of the redevelopment agreement with JPEL dated July 12, 2017, a TIF payout in the amount of $97,500 is due and payable. Payment will be made payable to First Community Bank and Trust as the lender of the collateral assignment of the redevelopment note, which is dated September 13th, 2017. This payout represents the second of 3 payments due under this agreement. Real estate taxes for the subject property have been paid and are current as of today. Action requested would be a motion to approve the TIF payout in the amount of $97,500.00 payable to First Community Bank and Trust.
I'll make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray? Yes. Trustee Gonzalez?
Thank you, Mayor. One other item that is not on the agenda, it's merely for information, is that the South Suburban Mayors and Managers Association, of which our municipality is a member of, is hosting a newly elected officials workshop Saturday, June 8th, 2019, 7:30 a.m. to noon. That is at their home office at 1906 West 174th Street. That's in East Hazelcrest. And basically, they provide a program that serves well for newly elected officials, as well as a refresher course for sitting officials, and all are welcome to attend. At the conclusion of tonight's board meeting, each will receive a copy of this notice in your mailboxes. Thank you. That concludes my report.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to the officials' report. Public Works, Trustee Gray. We'll move on to Parks and Recs, Trustee Horn.
Good evening, board and community members who are here tonight and those watching on YouTube and so forth. We have a lot of events coming up at the beginning of our summer here. The first one is our community-wide garage sales, which will be held May 10th and 11th. I assume that's a Friday and a Saturday. So watch for those. Next, we will have on Monday, May 27th, we will have a Memorial Day tribute to our fallen. That will be 9:30 a.m. right here at the Village Hall, and that is usually conducted by the American Legion. And then we have the Lincoln Way Special Recreation Association Kids Party in the Park. That's Monday, June 10th. That's from 6 to 7:30, Monday, June 10th, 6 to 7:30. Now, another event that I'm very happy to announce to you, we will be having on Saturday evening, June 29th, from 7 to 11 in the Pavilion, the second annual Family Swing Dance Night. Now, we had that last year, and it was very well attended by people in the village and people who had never actually been to Monee, which was one of our goals, to get people in the area to come and visit our fair city. So there will be a live 18-piece orchestra playing. They'll be playing the music of Count Basie, Duke Ellington, Glenn Miller, and Gene Krupa, and many others. So even if you don't dance, and some of you may be saying, well, Trustee Horn, I don't know how to swing dance. Well, I have a solution for you. I'm glad you were thinking that, because we will be having swing dance lessons for you. That will be Thursdays in June. There's 4 Thursdays in June. That will be at 7 o'clock at the Park District building, and we just took out the carpet in that building, and now there's a nice, I wouldn't say it's wood, but some kind of tile floor or something like that, hard floor, like this kind here. Anyways, really good for dancing. So you need to register for that, and you can call the park building. I'm assuming you can go online and register for that class as well. And then the night of, there'll be a swing dance lesson for an hour from that 7 to 8 time period. So there'll be teachers there who will teach you, so sort of a crash course, but I encourage you for the full 4-week course. So that'll something to look forward to, and we'll have many more events this summer. It's going to be a great summer in Monee. End of report.
Thank you, Trustee Horn. And Janet Blue is out of town, and my financial director, he's at a meeting. I was going to say he ran out of gas, but I'm saying enough with that kind of stuff. But he is at a meeting. He apparently couldn't make it back in time, so we have no report except for me to tell you that when I first became a trustee many years ago, we used to be late with bills, and you guys got to pay penalties for that. We're not late with any bills anymore, all right? Everything's paid on time. That's what's nice about having what we call a balanced budget and keeping up to date with everything. So, with that in mind, we'll move on to economic development. Scott, yours.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Couple things to report from the Monee Chamber of Commerce. Had their meeting last Wednesday. Saw Dr. Therese Boggs take over as president for the chamber, so it's going to be exciting to see what we have moving forward. Couple dates that they discussed at the meeting. June 18th is going to be the continuation of the Riverside Women's Series that they have there. I don't have the topic here with me. I believe it has to do with nutrition, if I remember correctly. July 20th is the Chamber Slammers game, $10 per ticket. Tickets are going to start going on sale tomorrow. And again, you can check the Facebook and web pages for the Chamber to get information. They will be available throughout town here. The Monee Historical Society was at the meeting and had a couple things to bring up that I thought were worth mentioning. First, tomorrow night, heading east on the Underground Railroad, it's going to be a presentation given over at the Park Building, and it starts at 7:30, free for everybody to attend. And also, to help support the Monee Historical Society, which is working so hard to save our creamery building, they have got it set up now. If you like to shop at Amazon down online, you can actually go to smile.amazon.com and you can select the Monee Historical Society. So every time you buy something, you give a little bit of money to help the creamery with their restoration projects. And they did, the only other thing from the chamber, they did receive 4 applications for their scholarship, and they will be handing out two scholarships. So that'll be exciting to see some young people get some help with much needed funds for college. End of report.
Thank you, Scott. We'll move on to building services. Anthony Razik.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. 53 permits have been issued. 8 resale inspections have been made. Building plans for Thornton's have been submitted for review. And finally, a friendly reminder to contact Julie at 811 before digging. End of report.
Thank you, Anthony. We'll move on to public safety. Heidi Gonzalez.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a couple things of note. Just wanted to let everybody know the police department partnered with the National Child Safety Council in an effort to provide educational materials to our elementary school children concerning everything from bullying, stranger danger, internet safety, water safety, and drugs, just to name a few. 15 local businesses have donated to the cause and allowing us to distribute council materials for every student in the elementary school. That's 450 students. We'll be delivering those materials in the next few weeks. The police department will be delivering those. And a thank you list for all the local contributors will be notated in on the Facebook page in the next couple days or so. And just to let everybody know, Police Memorial Week is coming up next week, May 13th through 19th. Sorry. Please take a moment of your time to remember the 163 officers who died in the line of duty in 2018. Monee Police Department has participated in ceremonies honoring these falling officers throughout the state. Again, Chief, thank you for everything you guys do. End of report.
Thank you, Heidi. We'll
Guys,
move
thank you.
on to the attorney's report. Larry?
I have no report, Your Honor.
Okay. We will then move on to old business, adoption of a FY 2020 appropriation ordinance.
Yes, Mayor. In the board packet, item K1 is the adoption of the fiscal year 2020 appropriations ordinance. This has gone through Finance Committee and through review, and it is before you for adoption for our current fiscal year that we began May 1.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion? This is something we've gone over and over and over for hours. This is what balances the budget, just so you know. So roll call, please.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray? Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
1913.
Mr. Mayor, the next item on the agenda is ratification of a special use permit transfer of 25836 Sunset Drive. If the board recalls, on April 10th, there was a consensus, a favorable consensus giving, and this is just a ratification of that consensus.
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? A roll call, please.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gray?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to the item 3, David.
I will defer to Trustee Gonzalez, if you prefer.
Okay, that's fine. Item K3 is in there, and we posted that last week as kind of an amendment to our fishing ordinance, and we've talked about it for several months now and got it pretty much amended to where, after all the discussions and the committee meetings that we had, and I put together from what Larry had provided last summer, I believe, and just added a couple clauses to that to kind of go over everything that our residents had brought to us and conversations that had been had with the committee over the last several months. So, including the village fishing permit application, some suggested signage, and adding some extra verbiage to the already existing ordinance.
Any other discussion on this? Did we get a motion on it yet? I'm sorry. Could I have a motion on this, please, on the pond issue, on the ordinance?
I'll make the motion.
A second?
Oh, thank you.
We get a second?
Doug?
Discussion?
What about fines if people don't oblige?
Nice and loud, if you don't mind, Anthony. You're
Sorry.
too far from the mic.
What are we gonna do about fines if people don't oblige by this?
So, and that's already actually in the ordinance, and if you remember, this is the
remember how
ordinance
much it was.
1616 that kind of has all of our little nuisance ordinances, so it's fines up to $750, as in like the no-cut grass and
Okay.
noise ordinance too.
Okay.
So, is there am I missing, is there a license wrapped into this?
Permit, yeah.
A permit?
Permit.
They need to come into the village hall to get? Is that what?
So yes, there's the village permit application. It's a one-time only. It's good forever. So we're just wanting to know who's actually fishing at our ponds. It's a very simple application. We will have a one sheet of the ordinance available to all the applicants that will be given upon their signature, and just a copy of their driver's license taken. So we can, and then it'll be frankly easy to know who's there, and if there is any folks fishing that are not abiding by the rules, then residents or other fishermen can actually call the police and we can cite them.
Will they have some kind of a card to
Yes,
show people who are in the neighborhood wondering who they are, or actually the police?
So that was, my thought too. I didn't get a chance to get that done, but I have it in my head thinking that it'd be like driver's license size, just very simple with their Village of Monee fishing permit signed this day, approved, with their name and address on it. So they can show the fishing permit license to anybody that comes and asks them, hey, do you have a permit?
So the 12-year-old kid that doesn't have a driver's license, that is just walking out in his backyard, he needs to go to Village Hall
No, it
for an
says
ID?
student,
Like
under
the kid that
16.
I see constantly walking? So, I mean, you're saying that they need to have an ID?
Under 16, they must be supervised. They have to have a fishing permit license, an adult with them.
Okay.
Permitted adult?
Permitted adult with
So the
them.
kid that says he lives right here, you gotta check his ID that he actually lives there?
Well, his dad or mom would be in the house watching him. Supervising is elastic, let's put it that way.
And that was the thing that Scott brought up to me the other day too, that there should be extra language in there to saying that if they don't have a driver's license, the parent has to have a permit with them. So we need to just add an extra,
A line.
yeah.
So couldn't the parents couldn't we rework this or table this until we get that point out to where because when I was 14, my parents were accompanying me everywhere and I was fishing at the pond behind my house. Couldn't the parents come in and get a license for their child in the child's name?
Can you repeat that?
Couldn't we reword this to where, say, a 13, 14-year-old wants to go fishing, but a parent, that way they're not accompanied by parents at all times? So the parents could come in and get a license for their child?
Yes, as long as that child's supervised again, I think that meets.
Well, why would a 13 or 14-year-old need to be supervised to go fishing? I didn't have supervision when I lived in front, right behind a detention pond on Linden there.
Well,
I went fishing all the time at that age and no parental supervision.
If a parent's with that child, it probably reduces the potential liability to the village because it's under adult supervision. If a child's there 13 years old, there's probably more of a likelihood that person could get, hopefully not injured, but they could. But with the parent there, I think that would reduce any potential, not any potential, but at least reduce some of our exposure.
So should I add a 3A on there then?
Yeah. I put under 3A.
Okay. So table it until amended to be passed next meeting?
I probably would, Trustee Gonzalez, because it should be in final form. So there's the savings clause, the repealing clause, the proper preambles. But if the gist of this is acceptable, then we can incorporate it into the final ordinance for approval or for review and consideration.
Everybody okay with that?
I kind of felt that we'd get into a discussion over this, obviously, but I want to let you know that you're feeding right into Janet Blue made a personal visit with me, hoping that we would table it because she had some comments too. I have one I'll throw out there too. I personally feel we shouldn't do anything with the ponds, but as long as we're going to allow fishing, I thought we might want to make it residents only because a lot of the problems are coming from visitors.
We
I
can't.
see already Trustee Horn shaking his head. I think that was a no, but we
I
all
don't
have
think
opinions.
we can,
What?
legally.
What?
If I'm correct, Larry?
What some villages do, not with respect to fishing, you could have a tier fee scale. You could indicate residents will pay, $10, where the case may be. Non-residents a little higher, but it is technically if it's a public property, you can't really say this person can attend, that person can't. Most villages, especially like pools, the residents would be charged one fee, non-residents would be charged another fee, but everyone's got access to it.
So we could charge nothing for a resident and a fee for a non-resident?
Exactly.
That's what you're saying?
Yeah, that's.
Very good, well,
So I guess I would like to say, I would like to table it and have a committee meeting on Tuesday, the 14th, at a time convenient for the majority of the trustees.
well, Heidi, you're kind of in charge of that right now.
And
Is
I'm
that a-
working that night.
Is that a good date? You can't,
I've got a
okay.
committee.
I have one more question for the attorney. As far as asking, like, can an officer walk up to somebody and ask them for to see their permit, as far as their fishing permit?
Yes.
I
Do you know
believe
that?
so, especially,
Hold
I
on.
believe they have the right to ask.
Okay.
If they, especially if they have reason to believe that person's not, have a proper permit. It's like what they would call probable cause, but I believe if they're just going up there and asking an individual, they probably have that right.
Okay.
Especially if the ordinance is passed indicating that they have to have that permit or,
Well, as far as a fishing license, you're supposed to have one, unless you're a certain age.
correct.
Do you have a day that you'd like to do a committee
Monday might be
meeting?
my only day next week,
And what time?
5:30. Do you want to make it later, 6?
I think I have like a 7:30 meeting, but, you
Oh,
know,
we should be done by
I will try to
half
make
an
it,
hour.
okay?
Monday,
So,
5:30.
Monday at 5:30.
Monday at 5:30 is good. So could I have a motion to table this, please?
I'll make that motion.
Wait, we have to hear the last motion first. If,
So-
Doug, if trustee Horn and trustee Hughes
Withdraw the motion.
withdraw your motion, and then we can do motion for.
Yeah, I will withdraw the motion.
Somebody's car alarms are going.
And if I can't make it.
Okay.
And
Yes, I-
trustee Horn?
Yes.
Okay, now you can do motion for the table.
A motion to table, please?
I'll make the motion to table
Is
it.
there a second?
I'll second it.
Any discussion on that? If not, roll call, please.
Trustee Gray? Yes. Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Raisik?
Yes.
Trustee Hughes?
Yes.
Okay, do we have anything else under old business?
No.
Do you have something, David? Okay.
Sorry, Mayor, I do have just a quick report here. Wanted to bring everyone up to date on the Public Works Department was recently awarded a grant of $5,000 from the Will County Health Department for mosquito larvicide. We're getting into that season again. This product will manually be installed in village storm catch basins and will aid in reducing the adult mosquito population. Tomorrow is the last day for Public Works spring branch cleanup, so please have your branches curbside as the crews will make one more pass tomorrow to pick those up. The next scheduled branch pickup will be June 11th through the 13th. And for a complete list of the 2019 dates for Public Works branch pickup, please visit our website at www.villageofmonee.org. As you may or may not be aware, but water hydrant flushing is currently progressing east of town, and they've completed the Gulf Vista area, and will be continuing east through Country Meadows subdivision, and you'll also find those scheduled dates on the website as well. Concludes my report, Mayor.
Thank you.
You bet.
Before we move into sign die, which is an adjournment to swear in the new officers, new elected trustees, I should say, I want to personally thank Trustee Gray. How many years, Bill? 8 years serving as a trustee. I think that deserves a round of applause.
And just so Mayor Pops knows, I'm not Jay Farquhar like he thought I was when we originally met
Oh, God,
8 years
yeah.
ago. But no, thank you,
That's
everyone. Thank you very much.
Okay. Okay, with that, we're going to move to adjourn. Could I have a motion on it, please?
I'll make that motion.
And we'll go right back into, I did say that. Signy die.
I could retract that.
There was a motion and a second? Well,
Yeah, you beat me to
Roll call, please.
Trustee Gray?
Absolutely.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.
Trustee Horn?
Yes.
Trustee Razick?
Yes.
Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Did you want to do 3 separate or all together?
Separate.
Separate? Fine. Okay, well, number 1, ladies first. Well, what's the matter, Bill? Sure. Oh, Billy. William. You're the man.
I know.
Thanks, Bill. Now I will turn this meeting over to our clerk, so she can swear in the newly elected officials.
Cue it up.
Give it up.
Come here. You can raise your right hand. Insert your name after I. Repeat after me. I,
I, Heidi Gonzalez,
having been duly elected
have been duly elected
to the office of trustee
to the office of trustee
of the Village of Monee,
of the Village of Monee,
County of Will, and State of Illinois,
County of Will, State of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. If you can repeat after me, insert your name after I. I,
I, Scott Udris,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of trustee
to the office of trustee
of the Village of Monee,
of the Village of Monee,
County of Will, and State of Illinois,
County of Will, and State of Illinois,
aforesaid,
aforesaid,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and I will faithfully discharge the duties
of the office of trustee
of the office of trustee
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilson.
Anthony, take Bill's thing down.
Hello, if you can raise your right hand and repeat after me, insert your name after I. I,
I, Michael Wilson,
having been duly elected
have been duly elected
to the office of trustee
to the office of trustee
of the Village of Monee,
of the Village of Monee,
County of Will, and State of Illinois,
County of Will, State of Illinois.
aforesaid,
Therefore said,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Illinois,
and the Constitution of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
of the State of Illinois,
and that I will faithfully discharge the duties
and that I would faithfully discharge my duties,
of the office of trustee
the office of trustee,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
Congratulations.
Let's just do that one more time, give them all a hand, okay? Okay, I'm going to call the meeting back to order. Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez,
Here.
Trustee Horn,
Yes.
Trustee Razick,
Present.
Trustee Wilson, Trustee Udris,
Present.
Okay, we will move on to new business. Is there any new business anybody wants to talk about?
Yes, Mayor. Item N1 on the agenda is the police department is seeking permission to purchase 3 2020 police package patrol vehicles through the South Suburban Purchasing Cooperative, which adheres to state bidding practices. And I believe that's in an amount not to exceed $105,000. This is a budgeted item.
You need action on that?
Could I have a motion on that, please?
I'll make that motion.
Second?
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Trustee Gonzalez.
Yes.
Trustee Horn.
Yes.
Trustee Razik.
Yes.
Trustee Wilson.
Yes.
Trustee Udris.
Yes.
Okay, we'll move on to open to the public. Non-agenda items, whatever you wish to talk about. Yes. You have one more? Yeah, we'll get that after Norm.
Norb Snow, Gulf Vista Estates. ELS, Sam Zell, the owners of Gulf Vista, want to add about 100 homes over there. And this brings up many issues at Gulf Vista and really all mobile manufactured home communities. I'll be highlighting the issues in following meetings, which is going to tackle one tonight. The first issue is rent. We own our homes. We rent the land, okay? My rent for the land is about $9,300 a year, okay? It's much more on the goat ranch, the executive golf course over there. That's another topic for a later week. That equates to the real estate taxes on about a $235,000 home, okay? And we don't tax the school system because we don't have any kids over there because we're over 55, and that's an issue for another week. And the average age is about 75 over there. Just a little note here. How would you like your taxes raised 5% compounded annually? That's what our lease calls for over there. So at the current rate, in about 2.5 years, my rent will go up $100. And the next time it'll only take 2 years to go up $100. You know, I'll be well over $10,000 or $11,000 in a few years. That's the situation that we're in over there. I thank you.
Thank you, Norb. David?
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I do have one item that needs to come before the board. This would be for strictly a consensus vote at this point. As the board is aware, the village has applied for an Illinois Environmental Protection Agency permit and loan for a new water tower and well, which is needed in the village. And that has processed, it's taken some time to process over the last couple of years. And so the IEPA is now seeking updated information. We have provided that updated information, and what we are seeking is permission, consensus vote to allow the mayor and the clerk, where applicable, to sign the updated documents that represents and continues our loan application with the Illinois EPA. If so approved by consensus vote, this will appear on the next board meeting for ratification. This is time-sensitive information, and we didn't have it in time to get it on the regular agenda for approval, and that's why we're asking for a consensus at this point.
Let me just start with ladies first, if you don't mind. Heidi?
Yes.
Scott?
And this is the same item that our engineers went down to Springfield on our behalf to rally that approval.
Scott?
Yes.
Doug?
Yes.
Anthony?
Yes.
And Michael?
Yes.
Thank you. You have a consensus, sir.
Thank you very much.
Anything else for new business or now open to the public? We kind of skipped back and forth there a little. Anyone else have anything they'd like to bring before the board? If not, we are going to go into executive session. You're welcome to stick around. I don't know how long it'll take because it has to do with specific items. Let me say it that way to you. So, could I have a motion to move into, it's 5, 1LCS 120/2 C2 collective bargaining. Now, what all that means is it's collective bargaining. Thank you. I have a motion to.
I'll make that motion.
Okay, second. Roll call, please.
Trustee Horn? Yes. Trustee Razik?
Yes.
Trustee Wilson? Trustee Udris?
Yes.
Trustee Gonzalez?
Yes.